Let's do this. What is up? What's going on, my peeps? Fashionably late Stockwatch Sunday. Waiting for some folks to roll in here. Oh, look, I just got notified that I'm live on Facebook. Thanks, YouTube. Or YouTube. Yeah, whatever. All right, as I'm waiting for some folks to roll in here, let me welcome you guys to Stockwatch Sunday. Welcome to Own the Chaos, where this channel is dedicated to helping you towards financial freedom. And whatever that means for you, whether it is to be your own boss, be an entrepreneur, or learn how to trade in the stock market, that's what this channel is dedicated towards. Obviously, it's been taking a little bit more of an evolution up to this point. But honestly, I think that it all kind of ties together. You know, when I started out trading, I didn't realize that I was going to be my own boss or own my own business, or, you know, really YouTube is its own business. So I've kind of realized that now I have several of them, and why not share with everybody how I've been able to find at least a little bit of success in all of it. So that's what I'm basing this channel off of nowadays. And a lot of people seem to be pretty receptive and super supportive. So thank you so much. Speaking of support, I certainly would appreciate a thumbs up and a subscribe if you want to see more content such as this. And let me welcome some folks in here. What's going on, Alan? Thanks for the donation, buddy. You're always my loudest cheerleader in the Own the Chaos crew. So thank you so much for that. Appreciate it, buddy. Silver, yes, hit the like button. Appreciate that. Amy, Raquel, Peter, what's going on? Quick Red Fox, Jeff, what's up, my man? Celeste, good to see you as well. Thanks for joining. What I'm going to do real quick, I don't know if you noticed my fashionable shirt. I just realized that I'm not wearing a WeTrade HQ shirt, but if you are not part of the WeTrade HQ community, there's links down in the description below. It's a free group that you can be a part of that doesn't just trade penny stocks. So for me, myself, I primarily trade penny stocks. That's what my bread and butter is based off of. I tend to go up into NASDAQ here and there, trade some commodities and that sort of thing, or precious metals, I should say, is really kind of what I focus on outside of penny stocks. But having said that, WeTrade HQ has been dedicated to not just penny stocks, but anything that you're looking to trade in the market: cryptocurrencies, forex, ETFs, penny stocks, just like me. Anything that you're looking to trade in the market, that community is going to be for you. Why? Because we have mentors and experts that specialize in all of those areas. They're going to be able to help you become a better trader. So go check that out. Again, it's WeTradeHQ.com. There's all kinds of free tools and resources that are there and available for you to use. And our community is awesome. We have almost 5,000 members. Can you believe it? We're a little bit over a year into the WeTrade HQ fam, and we have over almost 5,000 members. It's been an awesome journey. Again, thank you guys so much for your support. So as I was saying about the shirt that I'm wearing, that it's not a WeTrade HQ shirt, I just wanted to kind of direct your attention a little bit that I haven't been doing enough marketing on, and that is the WeTrade HQ merch store. So if you guys want to show some WeTrade HQ pride, or maybe you're just a regular or everyday trader, you want to show the world what you're made of, we have some WeTrade HQ shirts. We've actually come up with some new designs. If you're passionate about DGAS, we got some shirts there for you as well. Some OTC shirts. Stones is kind of like you got to have stones to be able to trade in the market, so we got something like that. If you're a hodler, there you go. So lots of new and cool designs there that I think are pretty awesome. So if you want to go check that out, the link's down in the description below, or you go to WeTradeHQ.com under merch and go check that out as well. So top stocks that we're watching this week. A few of them I'm going to just kind of cover that we've covered before, but they've made some recent changes. As you guys know, the summertime is relatively slow, so there's ones that are going to be some repeats, but some new ones as well that I want you to go ahead and take a look at. Obviously, this is just a watch list, not something that I'm telling you to buy, but maybe looking at it and seeing if you find potential in that as well. So, yeah, there you go. So I was just looking at Alan. So yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate it, brother. Kathleen, what's going on? Mr. DeSoto, good to see you, Randy. All right, Johnny Liberty, you too, man. So let's go ahead and look at what I'm watching this week. Now, the first one's going to be TSOY. It started to wake up a little bit here. As you can see over the last couple of days, this is the daily chart. I would say probably the last couple of weeks, it's really started to make some moves up. It looks as if dilution has backed off quite a bit. And sometimes we look at these and we tell ourselves, or at least when I'm looking at something that I see potential value in, if it looks as if dilution could be backing off, that in and of itself is a potential catalyst, a positive catalyst. So they do have a considerable amount of debt, dilutive debt, convertible debt, all the debt you can think of. They have it. However, with that being said, sometimes when what I would say the faucet gets turned off, you basically turn in that dilution faucet off. People get excited about that. When notes stop being converted, that's when the stock can start to move a little bit easier. And honestly, it has been diluting. But if we go to otcmarkets.com, where I do a lot of my due diligence, basically this is the Facebook for over-the-counter penny stocks. You can go to otcmarkets.com and pull up the profile of any ticker that you're looking to check out. And really kind of dive deep and go into some more of their, like financial security details, which is what I'm looking at right now. I'm looking at their share structure, any disclosures that they have. This will be here on OTC Markets, and this is just one piece of the due diligence that I do. So looking here, you can see that it's trading at 0023. Most recently updated float somewhere around 105 million, which I don't believe that. I would venture to say that the unrestricted OS is probably as close of a guess as we can get. And even at 244,000 or 244 million unrestricted in the OS, that's really, if this is the entire float of TSOY at 0023, I would say that's not too shabby. Now, it has diluted some since then. So we can venture to say that it's probably a little bit more than 244 million. But like I said, I think if the tap starts to turn off here, which I think it is, they've been diluting quite aggressively over the last couple of days. So I think that sometimes when that happens, you'll see that the dilution stops. Maybe they end a note. Maybe, they just kind of take a break on converting shares. And so they'll do that in anticipation. Maybe there's some news coming along, what have you. But like I said, there's some unusual volume coming in here after it looks as if dilution could be backing off a little bit. And so TSOI could make it a nice move if that ends up happening. Let me switch over. Sorry about that. So I'm looking at OTC Markets, just kind of showing you again the 244 million in the OS. Unrestricted shares, and just going back to the chart here, just want to show you here that it looks like this unusual volume is starting to really get a move on here. So will it continue? Can it go up? I don't know. But at 0023, with the share structure being the way that it is, if we somehow see some sort of catalyst on top of the fact that perhaps maybe they're starting to back off on some of the dilution, it can make at least a nice little double out of it. You could get a nice 100% move if in fact we see something or the dilution comes off. But again, that's why we call this a watch list. This isn't a buy list. Watch and see what happens. If there is something that arises that might send this thing moving, it could definitely do that if dilution backs off and we have a decent amount of dollar volume coming in for TSOI. Now, I like this. If it starts to make a move back up, I like this to break over 0047. If it breaks up over 0047 in the sideways channel that we've seen in previous weeks and months, then that is a strong resistance, I think, there. It's already gotten close to that since it's already come out with some news as of recent. Last week, it came out with some news about developing technology to enhance prostate cancer suppressing properties of nano PSA. So that was one of the news pieces that it came out with last week, and then the week before also came out with some more news. So they're getting some stuff out. So we'll see if this takes off. Like I said, it's got to be that dilution that really backs off in order for this to kind of really get moving. So yeah, that's the first one, TSOI. Next one is DCGD. Now, oh my God, guys, when we first talked about DCGD, this was within my morning mentorship group. So if you are in my morning mentorship group, or if you're not, I go live from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern time, just like I do here, but it's via Zoom. So just to kind of give you an idea of what my morning mentorship looks like, I go live with folks from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern time, just like I said before, via Zoom. So Zoom is a interactive platform where you guys can actually ask me questions. It's not just like in a chat like you're doing through YouTube. Yes, you get to see me just like you are now, but other people can also video chat with me, and it's in like a classroom setting. It's from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., which I think is one of the more valuable times to be live with people, because it's a half hour before the market goes before the market opens, a half hour after it opens, so we can really kind of dive in and see what's going to be potentially moving throughout the day, make our plans, and execute after that market opens. But I'm not just with you guys during that time and that's it. No, I'm there with you via a private Discord group all throughout the day. Whether the market's open or not, you're able to ask me questions. We can work things out together within the group with other veteran traders. I've actually been able to bring on traders that have been trading for 20 plus years, been making this a career for a very long time. So it's not just a one-man show. It's a village. It takes a village, right? That's that old cliche. And that's what I firmly believe in. This is something that I don't personally believe that I know everything there is to know about trading. I share my values and I share how it is that I've been able to find success. But I brought in some of those other veteran traders because it's all about perspective. There's certain perspectives that they might have that maybe I missed something. And so we're all kind of working as a collective group. And it's really been helping a lot of other people understand and gain control and own the chaos that is the OTC. So if you want to check that out, links are in the description. Again, I go live from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern time every day the market's open. It's a great community to be a part of. So anyways, DCGD has ran 10,000% since we first talked about it. Actually, over 10,000%. When we first talked about it, it was just before July 4th. I believe it was a Tuesday. So July 2nd or 3rd, we started to notice DCGD because they came out with news about a merger. And so they came out with news on this merger that a company moving in, so a fund company that's moving in to basically provide funding for cannabis companies. As you might know, that in the U.S., on the federal level, it's still not legal. Cannabis is still not legal, so there's a lot of hoops they have to jump through in order to be able to get funding to start their cannabis company, if you're somebody in the U.S. that wants to do that. And so if you don't have a lot of cash up front, it's really difficult to kind of like get a move on because you're not going to get any funding from the federal level. Well, this company is doing that. They're providing funding for these companies. And so that is the company that's reverse merging into DCGD. And so that's why it's been going wild and crazy. Now, if you look at the share structure here, you can see on security details that the structure is super tiny as well. And so that's what's really kind of been propelling this off. And so why am I looking at this after it's already ran well over 10,000%? It's actually ran about 15,000%, if my math is correct. But we looked at this well under a penny and weren't able to get in. Lots of people within the morning mentorship were able to grab, O2s and O3s. And it's since then gone up to well over 35 cents. Unbelievable move. I was able to flip in and out of this a couple of times just because I was going to ride the momentum, and that's why I'm bringing it to the table here today. Looking at this, I think that there's potential for this to move back down. I like it right around 26 cents. So if it starts to come back down around 26 cents and is able to establish a support there, I think that I would probably consider getting in at around 26 cents. If it comes back down, I think the momentum is just too strong here. Over the last 2 weeks, it's really just continued to skyrocket and go up. And the more people that buy into this, the more it shrinks down the float. It's been in float lock for quite some time. So, and it's been pretty evident that that's what's been going on. If it comes back down to the teens, which I highly doubt it does, I really like it around 18. We'll see if it does that. And even maybe even as low as 21 cents, kind of like it around that area as well. But I'm looking for 26 cents. And again, I have to make sure that it's establishing some support there. But nevertheless, an unbelievable move from DCGD. I'd be doing you a disservice if I didn't discuss this, despite the run that it's had already. I still think there's opportunities to capitalize on DCGD, and there's definitely potential here for it to continue to go, given the amount of volume that's coming in. And really, look at this. There's not a whole lot of dollar volume as compared to the first week of the run, but because of the float lock, it's just continually to go up after, from buy after buy. You have a little bit of selling here and people just come in and buy it and right back up. So it just, what a monster. I mean, what a monster. It's been an incredible run so far. Congrats to those of you who were able to capitalize on this. Unbelievable run so far. Greg, going to be talking about Pred actually just right about now. So I'm going to be pulling up Pred here as well. And so actually I'm going to come back and I want to talk to you about PRED. So PRED is one that I personally am investing in. So I have a lot of stocks out there, a lot of positions, I should say. There's ones that I see short-term value in that I'll make a short-term swing trade, something like that. Maybe even a day trade. There's a couple of them. But there's other ones that I kind of keep in my back pocket that I have long-term potential in, something that I'm actually investing in. And so for something that I am investing in, I'm not concerned so much with the day-to-day trading that goes on with something like that, because I'm holding on to it longer term. That's something that I'm actually investing in because I see that there's legitimacy to a company, that they have a lot of good things going on, the management's there. And so that is why I would invest in something like PRED. So full disclosure, this is something that I want to invest in, not something that I see a short-term trade on. So people that are in PRED, I certainly understand the calls for concern. And I'll tell you why people are concerned with PRED right here. So I'm going to pull this up. Over this past week, it's been considerably tough for anybody who is invested in PRED, especially who got in around $4 or higher. I being one of them, my first initial entry was around $4, and it's been tough to watch it really kind of come down. And really looking at the chart here, it's very obvious that this thing was shorted. So this is on the daily chart, and looking at the daily chart, sorry about that, I'm going to get rid of this here. I want this line right here. There we go. So it came back down end of the day on Friday at $1.60. And I think that could potentially be the absolute bottom for PRED. What went on with PRED? Why did it sell off like this? There was no real news that came out, no catalyst that came out, but this was the sabotage right here. The sabotage for PRED was that there was an article that came out on Seeking Alpha, basically an entire group, a huge giant group, disclosed, basically put out a bashing piece on PRED. And then they even admitted, so as I'm highlighting this here, after extensive research, we have taken a short position of shares of PRED, and in parentheses, a really large short position, in fact. Now, let me tell you something. If you're reading that, right, there's nothing that's going to be in that article that's going to be good. And there's nothing that's going to be in that article that's going to highlight any positive things about PRED. So with that being said, let me go ahead and go back into PRED and kind of show you what's going on in this article. So again, this is another Seeking Alpha article, and this is all based off of opinion. So they did some kind of sketchy background, investigation, quote unquote, on PRED. They start talking about how there's, some sketchy things going on with the former chairman. And I want to talk about, I want to emphasize former chairman of PRED. So he's no longer with the company. And they talk about how he had allegations on fraud, but the allegations the fraud allegations, were able to be dismissed. And it was also back in 2009. So this was 10 years ago, something that they had to go through, disproved everything. And the guy even went so far as to suing the SEC. So maybe that's part of the problem. But here's the thing. When I'm looking at something that I'm going to be invested in, I'm not going to get scared and sell on some bullshit article that comes out literally with the intent of slandering a company because they came out and admittedly said that they're shorting the hell out of this. So I'm not going to buy into that. And actually, I ended up adding to PRED, was able to average down considerably. I like PRED. I like the management. Look, here's the other thing, okay? If you go into OTC markets and some of the recent news that they've put out, Thermo Fisher, where is it at? I want to Thermo Fisher. This is what I want to pull up here. Here we go. Thermo Fisher has decided to work with them. Thermo Fisher Scientific and Predictive Laboratories announced global infertility research collaboration. Okay, this is a $35 billion company that is working with PRED. Now, you tell me, if I was a $35 billion company, I'm pretty sure I'd be doing all the research I can before I get in bed with a company like this. So if there was any fraud to be had, a $35 billion company would not be working with them or even putting their name on anything that even sniffs of, or even smells of fraud. So I'm not concerned about PRED. It's a tough stretch of days. It's probably going to take some time to get it back to where it once was. But, the thing is, there's a lot of people that are coming to me and saying, hey, why aren't they saying anything? Why aren't they coming out and basically refuting this allegation that Seeking Alpha has put out? The reason is because they're looking to uplist. We've talked about how they're looking to uplist to NASDAQ. And so, they can't come out with a bunch of PRs basically stirring up drama when they're trying to uplist to the big leagues. They're trying to, mind their P's and Q's, walk that tightrope until they uplist. And then that's when they'll start coming out with some major news. And I think that Pred will be just fine. If you don't just pay attention to the day-to-day stuff. If you're looking to flip this, you're looking to make a day trade on it, sure. There's obviously, a case that can be made that there's going to be a gap fill on PRED. If you're looking at something on the chart here that says, okay, this gap down from all the way up to $3.40, you could even get down here at $1.60 or so and really turn this back up. And play the gap fill if you're looking to make a day trade. But again, for me personally, this is something that I see as a long-term investment, not something that I'm going to just flip in and out of. And it's very rare that I tell people that, just stay the course or just hang on to something. And I'm not really telling you what to do, but it's really rare that I tell people that that's what I'm doing. I have a handful of companies that I will hold on to for a long time because I see long-term potential in. This just happens to be one of them. So if you're scared about Pred, something that you're not comfortable to continue to invest in, I'm not going to tell you not to stay in it. Or I'm not going to tell you to stay in it if it's something that you're not comfortable with or something that you don't trust. I certainly understand. But it's just one thing that I'm not going to be like, it's done, it's garbage, whatever. It's come down because somebody shorted the hell out of it. And that's all there is. Nothing else has changed on Pred. Literally nothing else. So there's my take on it. So good question on Pred. Thanks for bringing it up, Greg. I appreciate you. And like I said, going to stay the course with that one for me personally. Hey, Jan, good to see you. Just looking at some of the comments here. ALPP news share structure is kind of small. Not sure if you can get out. And okay, so we'll take a look at ALPP, Alan. INND, definitely a good one. I will pull that one up and we can discuss that one as well, John. Just give me one moment and I'll cover this last one, which is BHPA. If you guys haven't been privy to BHPA, this was formerly SRDP or SRDPD, recently went through a reverse split and now a ticker symbol change. BHPA is probably the number one cryptocurrency related stock that I would be trading in the OTC. If you're trading something, trading a penny stock as it relates to cryptocurrency or Bitcoin, this is going to be the one for me personally that I see the most value in. Looking at the share structure, it's very small, 25 million in the OS. It has gone bonkers for those of us who have been in it within my morning mentorship group. I know a lot of folks that have been in this one within the $1 range. It's had highs of nearly $10. Okay. This is 1,000% runner for some folks already. And it started to come back down and it's settling back down here around in the $5 range. What's going on with BHPA? Why do I see so much value in it? Because they have 100,000 cryptocurrency positions. Basically, they have 100,000 mines as it relates to cryptocurrency. And so they just made their first announcement as BHPA, basically just saying, hey, we're approved to be traded on the OTC Markets Exchange. And I think the reason they went through the reverse split, the reason they went through this ticker symbol change and all that good stuff is because I think that they're going to be one day uplisted to NASDAQ, perhaps even before 2019 is out. They have been quietly, doing their thing, but I think there's a lot going on here that people just aren't seeing. So I think BHPA definitely has a lot going for it. I will say, though, that BHPA's price action, as all cryptocurrency-related stocks, are going to be reflective of Bitcoin itself. I think Bitcoin is probably the barometer, if you will, of how well any stock or any cryptocurrency related stock is going to react. So if Bitcoin's not doing well, the cryptocurrency stocks aren't going to do well. So looking at Bitcoin right now, it's just above 10,000. I think that the reason that being is because of the recent geopolitical landscape as it relates to cryptocurrency. We saw President Trump tweeting about his dissatisfaction with Bitcoin and what they should be doing, all this other stuff, how it should be taxed, this, that, and the other. Whether you agree with it or not, it has appeared that it's had an impact. But I think that as long as there's fear of economic instability, people are going to flock to things like cryptocurrency, and namely Bitcoin as well as gold. So that's actually what I've been trading lately. I've been trading a lot of gold lately because it's, 30-year highs on gold. It's been unbelievable how it's really kind of taken off, and it's been very predictable. A lot of people will be selling gold off, and then you just buying it at that support level. You make a nice day trade as it goes back up towards the high. It's been an unbelievable move. So anything cryptocurrency related, gold related, as the economy as the fear of economic instability starts to arise, look for these to start to go up. If in fact we see a market correction in the New York Stock Exchange. So again, BHPA. One of the stocks that I see the most value in as it relates to cryptocurrency. And we'll get to some of your questions here. So let's see here. What's going on, Fat Cat? Good to see you. Trader No Extreme. Yeah. Bitcoin not doing so hot. KPay still just waiting on funding. Whether or not they get it, that's going to be, up for discussion, but we'll see what goes on with KPay. That's why I'm not watching it this week unless something crazy happens, but it hasn't been getting a whole lot of volume. Still have it. Andrew, yes, TOMI. So TOMI, I almost forgot. Thanks for reminding me. TOMI has made an unbelievable run from sub-penny, really within the last month or so. As you can see, it's really skyrocketed. TOMI has just gone berserk on rumors of a merger that's going on, and also a ticker symbol change. There's a lot of buy the rumor, sell the news kind of stuff going on. And TOMI, they don't have much going on as far as press releases or anything like that. But I will say that the setup seems to be fantastic. I actually picked up some TOMI as well as some of our folks within the morning mentorship around 10 cents. 10, 12 cents. And I am on free shares on TOMI. Haven't talked much about it within the mentorship only because I just haven't seen anything come out yet. So a lot of it's just based off of rumor so far, and I just don't have a whole lot to go off of as far as actual legitimacy to the merger just yet. As soon as I do, you guys know that I'll be letting you know. But the share structure is what really got me excited. 10 million. Now, there's a lot of risk involved with something that has such a small share structure, right? As fast as this goes up, it can come down just as fast. So you just have to look to see if there's potential areas of entry. If you're looking to see value in TOMI, this is probably one of those ones. You guys know that I have a lot of dark horses or what have you that I'll pull up, and this probably would be one that I would consider that. I think that if there is a merger that comes out with TOMI, that there could be a huge move, even in upwards of over $1 if the merger is as good as some of the rumors that are flying around on it. But like I said, all I have right now is hearsay, so the setup is perfect, though, for something like this to happen. If I'm looking at TOMI right now on the chart, basing it off of technical analysis, I think that it looks like it's starting to, had that pullback over the last day or so, and looking like 45-ish could be a good solid area. Even if it comes back down to 40, if it comes back down in the 40s and 39s, I might even consider picking that back up if the support is legit and it starts to turn back up. There's a confirmed reversal off of those areas. That's probably where I'll be hopping in at on TOMI. So that's definitely one to keep on your radar. Thanks for reminding me, Andrew, on that one. Appreciate you, brother. So change of control is in the latest quarterly filing. That's right. So that was a while ago, right? Or am I mistaken? Yeah, that was a while ago. Back in April. So I just meant like as of recently, there's not much else that I have to go off of. But yes, that's correct. So, okay. What was the other one? INND. So INND is one that I also actually talked about within the morning mentorship early last. Whoops, sorry about that. Early last week, that I saw a good, decent long-term swing on. INND. They are a basically a hearing loss company. They have products that help folks that are suffering from hearing loss. They are, I mean, I think there's a lot of undervaluing here going on with INND. Every time it seems like they come out with news, nobody really seems to care. But they have products that are in Walmart, a lot of the big box stores. The share structure is still halfway decent, 161 million. That's very good considering the price here at 025. And so if they come out with anything considerable, I mean, I'm talking, anything that requires FDA approval, anything like that, we'll see INND go up quite fast if something like that comes out. I have been looking to accumulate on this position. As you can see here, 10Q last was back in May. They do have some convertible debt, but not a whole lot. Lots of times these derivative liabilities can also be convertible debt, so that's what I'm going to be considering that there. 2,600,000. I mean, it's not obviously the best, but if there's enough dollar volume that comes in, it could definitely turn that over, no problem, especially if some major catalyst comes out on INND as it relates to, like I said, FDA approval, something like that, which they are looking to get done. I mean, every time they come out with news, it always seems to be pretty decent. But, hey, it's definitely one worth watching as far as INND is concerned. NBDR, it's always making some moves. So much chatter on DCGD. Yeah, that's why I talked about it, Fat Cat. Just wanted to make sure that I addressed that. You had a guest on your show. They like Sohn. Do you have any update on Sohn? I haven't watched or looked at Sohn in months. I mean, it's probably been about 6 months or so since I looked at SOAN. So no, I don't have anything on that one, unfortunately. Let's see if there's any other ones. Let's see. Okay. PACV. PACV could definitely make a move. The only thing with PACV is got to be, Jen talked about Brett already. So yeah, let me pull up PACV real quick because they do have pending news coming out tomorrow, actually, I believe. Let's see. And I'll pull that up for you. So every time that I'm going to do due diligence on something, I'm going to pull up the chart, and then I'm going to pull up OTC markets. So I can look at, the financials of this company that I'm looking at. So I'm looking at PACV. See a lot of low volume so far over the last really several months. But it started to make a turn up because they came out with news recently, right? Yeah, 626. Investment group concentrating in food and beverage distribution announced today that it signed a non-binding letter of intent to acquire distribution focused on food, frozen foods, and other related products. California Food Distribution Company has current annual revenues in excess of $30 million, which is a huge deal. And I believe they said the 15th was when that was supposed to be coming out, right? Let's see. Just reading through. Acquisition result in food distribution with greater revenues and profits. Yeah, I believe the 15th was right around when that was supposed to be announced on PACV. Looking at the chart here, you can kind of see that it doesn't have a whole lot of volume, so it might be difficult to establish some sort of support. I think that maybe if it comes back down to 005 and it starts to bounce off of that area, that would be a good spot to get in. But if the news is good enough, if the LOI comes out, and looking at this, you can see that maybe it's got some legs to it if, in fact, the acquisition goes through. Now, they do have a pending reverse split, but it's still pending. They don't have anything else going on with it. as far as that's concerned, but we'll see. The reverse split is there, but it's not. There hasn't been a date established for that reverse split. They haven't said for sure that they're going to go through with it. And I believe that the only reason that they would consider going through with it would be for reasons of uplisting. Sometimes they have to get the price to a certain point, and they'll do that via reverse split to get the price there to uplist to NASDAQ. Now, there are other times where reverse splits are even worse, in that they will do a reverse split just so they can continue diluting on something. They've gotten the price down so low that it can't go any further, so they'll just reverse split it so they can continue converting. That probably wouldn't be the case for PACV. We've seen good things come out of reverse splits like that. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that the reverse split will be a good thing, but there are people that even within recently, BHPA being one of them, that they've stayed in through a reverse split and they are now green on their positions. So take that for what you will. PACV definitely could have something going on with it if, in fact, that LOI goes through as an acquisition. That would be huge. $30 million company, nothing to turn your nose at. So, yeah, we'll see, Johnny. We'll see. All right, ALPP. That's the last one I'm going to cover. So, ALPP. Pulling it up on the chart here. Thanks for reminding me, guys. Sometimes it's tough to keep up with everything. As I'm just reading through the comments. Obviously, share structure is good. This one's already ran once. Already had the opportunity to capitalize on runs on ALPP back in May, and even I'm sorry, not May. Yeah, late May, early June. ALPP made some pretty strong moves, and even made a strong move from 005 all the way up to highs of 0386 since really since really late June. So it's made some pretty decent spikes on a daily chart, and since June 21st, really from this low, it's continued to go up. Now they came out with news, Alan said. Let's take a look here. Sorry about that. I thought I'd switched over. So you're looking here at 005. It's made some turns back up to highs of 3.6. So pulling this back here at the news, most recent news, they came out with news on the today. Why would they come out with news on a Sunday? That's really weird. Expects to report quarter 2 2019 revenues and growth of 95% over quarter 2 2018. I think that's definitely going to be positive, Alan. But my thing is that this has probably been moving up, and that this price is probably going to be what I would consider pre-baked. So I think this is probably going to be a sell the news kind of deal. I wouldn't say that it's going to come all the way back down to its lows, but with that news, it's okay news. It's not something that I would consider something that I think that because they're coming out with it on a Sunday, and that this has already started to make a pretty strong move up, well over 300-400%. This is probably going to be a situation where I would venture to say it's going to be a sell the news type of deal. And if that happens, you could certainly look for areas to buy in on dips if you still see value in this company. But ALPP, this run looks like it's already happened, and I wouldn't be buying all the way up here. Yeah, sorry about that, Alan, but yeah, that's my take on that. I probably wouldn't be buying it all the way up, up here as far as ALPP is concerned. Maybe it moves, maybe it doesn't, but I don't know if it's something that I'd be willing to risk that's already ran 400 or 500% based off of just news that's come out. All right, so I've kind of already given my thoughts on Crypto Trader. At least I thought I did, but I'm going to go ahead and call it a night on that note. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you like this video, you want to see more of Stockwatch Sunday, please subscribe to this channel and give me a thumbs up to show more additional support to this channel so that I can keep going with it. As you guys know, likes and subscribes are favorable to YouTube. So that would help support me so that I can continue doing what it is that I love to do on YouTube and helping each and every one of you as it pertains to trading, being an entrepreneur, and basically working for yourself. Who wants to work the 9 to 5 and keep working for the man every day, right? Nobody. So that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help people out, and so I would appreciate the support, as I already have from so many of you, and I am always grateful for that. So thanks, guys, so much. If you want to be part of the morning mentorship, again, links are down there in the description below. And that is it for me, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, I will see you all before the bell, and B Smith is out. Have a good one, guys.